Welcome back, Nationwide Sports. I'm Matt Mackey, live from West Virginia. Wild and wonderful, y'all. Episode 84 on the way today. And sitting in Morgantown is the man himself, Caleb Lane. Caleb, what's going on?
What's going on, guys? Hope everyone had a great week. Hope everyone enjoyed basketball throughout the week and some first night of NFL football last night. Told you before the show, Mackie, it was interesting to watch. Very fun to watch too, as well.
I'm not going to lie, it's been a great week. Sports are finally back. Thursday night was the trifecta, you can call it, with NHL, MLB, NBA, NFL, women's basketball, and college football. And you can't forget about tennis, too, you know. Serena Williams got upset. We'll throw that in there real quick for the tennis match for the Women's U.S. Open going on. But other than that, it was a night to enjoy football. Am I right, Caleb?
It was. The game, wasn't great. We'll obviously get into it later. I think Texans kind of missed Hopkins, but we'll obviously get into that later. But for the first night of football, I can't complain. To see a rookie come out and do what he did and just see football for the first time in forever. We've both kind of had our speculations on if the NFL is going to go past week 2, week 3. Even if it does or doesn't, I'm happy we got to see at least a week or two of football.
Exactly. So let's get into the show. Here we go. We're going to start with the playoff NBAs going down in the bubble with an updated list. What's going on? How's it going? Then we're going to kick it off with the Week 1 NFL football. Talk about last night's game between the Texans and Chiefs. Get into the Week 1 games on Sunday and Monday. And then we're going to give our AFC prediction for the playoffs like we did last week for the NFC. And then we're going to talk about some college football after that. It's going to be a good show, Caleb.
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right, here we go. NBA playoff updates. The one spot is solidified in the Eastern Conference Finals, and that's Miami Heat beating the number 1 seed Bucks 4-1 in that series. Caleb, thoughts on that whole series?
I'm excited. To see this young Miami team come out and play the way they did. Not very much veteran presence on that team besides Jimmy Butler. And
there's literally not.
And to see that they can now make it to the Eastern Conference Finals really has me in awe of what they can do later on down the road. 3-4 years from now.
Couldn't agree more. And it just shows, watching Jimmy Butler play, it seems that he's actually happy playing the game again.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't really happy when he was playing for Minnesota. He wasn't really happy playing in Philadelphia, but he was happy playing in Chicago. Do you agree with me there?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I feel like he's more happy in Miami. He's surrounded by a young group who is really good at basketball, and they all just kind of seem to work together. How could you not love Miami, though, too, is on top of that?
No, I agree. Seeing what Jimmy Butler has gone through his career, playing for Chicago, doing what he did there, getting his name known, and then going over to Minnesota, playing with Anthony Towns, it just seemed like it was going to be a great combo. But it generally meant he wasn't happy. So he wanted to be shipped off to Philadelphia. We all thought that Jimmy Butler, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, that's going to be a great trio. 76 East Conference Finals for 6 years straight. No, he wasn't happy. And if you're playing the game unhappy, you won't succeed. So him going down to Miami, like you said, Miami, beautiful place, beach weather all year round. Who can't be happy playing in Miami? And I think that's what sold him. Eric Spoelstra was like, we'll make you happy. And they're making him happy by building around him now. They're getting him the help he needs, the shooter he needs, and even a big man he needs and wants. And it got them to the East Conference Finals, beating pretty much they're calling Giannis MVP this year so far, but we'll see with him and LeBron. But the reigning MVP's team, 4-1. They only let them get one game on them.
Yeah, the thing I really love about this team is it seems like all 9 of their players can come, they can either start, come off the bench, and be a factor no matter what. I said Jimmy Butler was probably the only veteran presence on that team. I completely forgot they had Jay Crowder at the power forward position. Also adds a little bit of veteran presence. And even Andre Iguodala, which I think is probably the biggest veteran presence in that locker room.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Finals MVP on his belt.
And just having him come out being your 7th man off the bench or whatever the case may be, right behind Tyler Hero. And to have a rookie come off the bench like Tyler Hero and do the things that he's doing, I can't say it enough. Like, I'm really excited for this team. And I don't know. I like how they can just have this many people come off the bench and score. Like, I don't think it's like Kelly Olynyk, for example. I mean, he came off the bench, had 17 minutes and scored 12 points. And then turned around and had 6 rebounds as well. So, he's really making that impact for his team while he's on the floor, especially when you're going up against, Giannis or Chris Middleton. The biggest thing for me is, and I kind of had questions about it, is I understand you're hurt, but if you are the next generational player, which Giannis is obviously a great player, don't get me wrong, but if he's the next great thing, why did he not play? Like, a little bit of ankle soreness, I can understand. Like, you don't want to risk your entire future, but this game is a win or go home. Like, it's not like, you're in the middle of the season and if you get hurt again, you're going to be out for the playoffs. This is a win or go home.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there, but I'm going to go with Giannis thinking, I'm down 3-1. He said, why risk myself getting injured to win 3 games straight? It might hurt my future career, or just say I'm done, I'm sore, just like Damian Lillard did. You know what I'm saying? When he played the Lakers.
Yeah.
He's like, why waste the future of my career for a series? I'm already down 3-1. I might win the series, but I might not make it through the rest of the playoffs.
I don't know.
But I get what you're saying. Like you're the next generation player and your ankle injury, you're out. I get that, but it's the fact that, it's more than just that game. It's more than just the series. It's the next week, the 2 years from now, the 4 years from now.
The toughest thing is just the fact that if he – because I know how good of a player Zion is. Or not Zion. Giannis is. Everyone knows how good of a player he is. And if he would have been in that game, not saying they would have won, but it probably would have been a factor. I mean, the game probably would have been different. I mean, they only won by 9 points. So, it's not much. That's, he can go out there and score 23 a night easily. The Heat have kind of proved it otherwise on some occasions, but I don't know. It's tough. I mean, Chris Middleton definitely came out and did his thing for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
he played like he deserved to get paid.
Yeah, in that game 5, he was leading scorer for the Bucks team, leading the way with 23 points. I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong. I get what you're saying about Giannis being next generation player. Why aren't you playing? But to me, I'm giving respect to Giannis for sitting out because he's seen the whole bigger picture. I'm down 3-1. You want me to win 3 games straight, then play the series right after that? There's no way my body can do that, especially being a 7-footer. Your body's already injured, holding you up.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely see that. So now on to Wednesday night games, right? The Raptors.
We're going to talk about the final
double overtime.
The final seeding for that Eastern Conference Finals, that Raptors and Celtics series going into Game 7 tonight. It's just safe to say these two teams are doing a tremendous job in what the Raptors can do without Kawhi and what they're showing how Kyle Lowry is finally, I think, stepping up to the plate. I mean, let's look on Wednesday night when they went to double overtime, like you just said, with the Celtics, and Kyle Lowry led the way with 33 points in the whole entire game. But this is going to be a tough-ass Game 7. It's going to be a fight.
Yeah, I think I kind of underestimated this Raptors team a little bit.
I think before the season started, everyone did.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think, I knew they were going to be good defensively. I just kind of had questions about their offense and how they were going to score. I mean, I didn't think Kyle Lowry was going to be able to drop 33 and come out with a win in double overtime in a Game 6. Just didn't think it was possible. Off of his previous performance, I mean, obviously he had Kawhi on the team. So, if the situation comes down to Kawhi's obviously taking that shot. But, yeah, this Game 7 is going to be amazing to watch. Him and Fred VanVleet.
Even this is going to be the best series in the playoffs.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think this next one, this Eastern Conference Finals.
For right now.
For right now, yeah. I think these next two Eastern and Western Conference Finals will both be really good.
So let's talk about Game 7 tonight. Who do you got? Who has the edge in your eyes?
I want to go with the Celtics. I still believe that they are the better team. I mean, just looking at their team in all, it's, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Kemba, Gordon Hayward, and then you have Brad Stevens as your coach. I mean, it's just a stacked team. But this Raptors team is deadly. I think I'm going to stick with the Celtics for sure. But it would not surprise me at all if the Raptors would pull off this one.
If you look at the starting lineups for both teams on that Wednesday double overtime win for the Raptors, the Celtics, 4 out of their 5 starters played 50 minutes or over. Raptors.
That's the same with the Raptors.
The same exact thing. 4 out of the 5 starters over 50 minutes. So these boys are definitely tired. They're definitely sore Thursday morning. So it's an even matchup going into this fight. But I'm going to have to give the edge, like you said, to the Celtics. Because, yes, the Raptors are more veteran-like team. But the Celtics, they can move. They can run. They can shoot. And Jaylen Brown, after what he did Wednesday night, having 31 points, he shot 4 for 13 from 3. I think that Tatum, Brown, Kemba, Marcus Smart can get the job done for the Celtics team to make them go to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, I think with this team overall, like you said, I just think it's better. I mean, like you said, they run the floor so much just because they're so young and they're so athletic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just going down the list, like you said, having Kemba Walker and Marcus Smart being your 1 and 2, and then having a guy like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown who can play a 3 and 4 and run like their guards as well. I mean, it's pretty much like a Houston basketball, but with taller
literally.
people. That's pretty much what it is. And then you have your Daniel Tyson there playing the center. Yeah, I just think I would say this though. Whatever team wins, I cannot wait for the Eastern Conference Finals because off of Game 1, it's going to be intense and it's going to be good.
It definitely will be a good one, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I'm excited to see new faces too.
I personally think Boston and Miami would be a better series. Do you think I'm wrong on that, or do you think?
No, I don't. I think if Toronto makes it in, I think it'll be a 4-2 win for Miami. If I think Celtics make it in, I think it's going to Game 7. It's anyone's ball game.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I think. I mean, just going off both teams, they're both young and can run. I mean, that's you're due for an exciting game at that point, like nonstop. That's 48 minutes of back and forth basketball.
All right, let's go into the other side of the bubble, the Western Conference. So far, both series, Lakers and Houston, Clippers and Nuggets, are 3-1. Both LA teams are winning the series. Looking at tonight's game, the Clippers and Nuggets, will the Clippers close out tonight?
Yeah, I think so. I think they want a little bit of rest before having to go up against LeBron and AD and them. Whether it be 2-3 days, I think it will be something like that. It's still an extra day of rest than what LeBron then will be getting.
Yeah.
And that's if the Lakers win tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure they will because the way we've played has not been good. But yeah, I just think that this Clippers team's a little too overpowered for this Nuggets team. I mean, at least right now.
Yeah, but at least right now. 30 points in that game 4. I'm definitely in towards the Clippers closeout tonight against the Nuggets team because the Nuggets, they need to get more guys involved, I feel like. I mean, you got Jokic having 26 points, but then you go off that, Murray has not been the same Murray we saw in the first series. He's not. He had 18 points on that game 4. And then you look off the bench, Michael Porter Jr., he's trying his best. He's trying. And he had 15 off the bench. It's just the fact that it's really like inconsistent basketball in that Denver locker room. I'm not going to lie. But same with Clippers. And you can go that way too. Paul George having 18 points in game 4, but then going back to that game 1 where he dropped, excuse me, where he dropped 19. And then you go back to game 2, game 3. Game 3, he had 32.
Yeah. I think he's probably
it's a consistency battle in the whole entire that series, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, just watching the game the other night, you can tell like the Nuggets really rely like when their starters are in, they really rely on either Jamal Murray or Nikola Jokic to score their points, and then once Michael Porter comes in, that's where your extra, 20, 15, 20 points are going to come each night. But Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, they're there to score 20, 30 points a night. And to me, I just don't see where in the Western Conference, right now in the NBA in general, I don't see where you have 2 starters and then a player coming off the bench and expect to win your games like that. Not when you can't have those role players who can play their roles don't get me wrong, Gary Harris kind of does his thing in this series, but it's not enough.
No,
not when you're going up against a stacked team like the Clippers. And I mean, the Nuggets kind of got a bad hand. I mean, it was either them or the Lakers. So either way, I feel like it was kind of a tough road for them. But like I said earlier, I mean, you just can't have 3 players that you rely on night in and night out, especially deep in playoffs like this.
It wouldn't, because think about it. Like if the Clippers don't close out tonight and the Lakers close out tomorrow night, they don't get a break.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
they're looking at game 1 starting on Monday.
Yeah.
Series. And if the Clippers don't close out tonight, that means the game won't be Tuesday, but they got to play Sunday.
Which
so the Lakers got more rest.
Yeah, which I think the Clippers will close it out tonight. I mean, there's no point for them. There's no point to drag it out, and I don't see where they lose in any way at all. I mean, maybe if Paul George doesn't show up, but I mean, he hasn't showed up in recent nights, and they've still got it done.
Because of Kawhi, it's all about Kawhi.
He's different. I mean, and then you have Patrick Beverley. Playing defense is his thing, and just being able to strap up. I think, it's not Jamal Murray. I feel like kind of gets frustrated this series. Yeah. You feel like because, I mean, you have Patrick Beverley, who's always been known ever since he's came into the league as the chippiest dude. And he's really good at defense. And what makes him even better is that he's chippy and he gets in your head like that, like so quick. So I feel like Jamal Murray's, I think, having that last series with Donovan Mitchell was just kind of back and forth with them too. Not really, I wouldn't say no defense played, but when you're going against Patrick Beverley, first team all defensive player, you're always full court getting, at least half court getting pressed as soon as you cross half court. And I think it really gets to him a little bit, especially when, like I said, you're the guy that's being relied on to score for your team, and you can't do it.
So let's move on to the other game in the Western Conference, other series, my bad, Lakers and Rockets. Lakers up 3-1, like I said. Caleb, you're a Rockets fan. I'm a Lakers fan. Is the Lakers closing out Game 5?
Yeah, I think they'll close out tomorrow. I mean, we haven't played good basketball at all as a team for the Rockets. But if they can come out and shoot the ball like lights out, I mean, we'll win. But it's been a rough couple of games for James Harden and even Russell Westbrook too. He's had a rough couple of games as well.
It really has, and if you look at it, that Game 4 for the Lakers and Rockets game, It was a very well balanced scoring for the Lakers, in my opinion. You had Anthony Davis do his thing, LeBron did his thing, but then you also like people forget that Danny Green's even there for the Lakers. I mean, he had 10, LeBron had 16, Anthony Davis had 29, and then
Caruso
they
had
just
16
follow up
off the
that by
bench.
exactly, and then you had Rondo have 11 plus 10 rebounds. It's just the fact that that team is so balanced now with the Rockets other way. It's not. I mean, you had PJ Tucker starting the game playing 33 minutes, having 0 points.
I wouldn't even say this team's just well around. I would just say they're stacked. Like this Lakers team is stacked. I mean, you have a veteran Rajon Rondo, who,
Coming off the bench.
yeah, I mean, the man was an all-star, and I would argue the greatest point guard in the league whenever he was in the league, one of the greatest, um, in his prime, obviously, but like Celtics. But this team's stacked, and like you said, the Rockets can't match up with them. I mean, when your biggest guy or best defender is PJ Tucker, it's kind of tough. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a first team all defensive player, but he's what, 6'8", 6'9", something like that, and Anthony Davis is 7, what, 2, something like that.
7-1, I think.
So I mean, it's kind of impossible. Like, just being able to throw the ball up over someone's head. It's pretty easy for the Lakers, I would say.
And that's
The
the thing that
small ball really isn't working. I don't see it working.
no, it won't work until later on. They're going to realize that going into the offseason trying to find free agents. And you look at it too, other teams know you play small ball. So you know what I'm going to do? Dish it down to my center, and he'll give me 29 points because that's what Anthony Davis did.
I mean, it will work. The small ball will work, but for championship caliber basketball, it won't. Not if they. Here's why I will say it works: is if they, and I think I said it last episode, is if they literally make every shot they put up, and that hasn't happened. Like, James Harden has struggled from the floor. What did he shoot last game?
James
Like
Harden 2 for
18%, 18% from the field. So I mean, like, our best field goal percentage was Austin Rivers at 62%, and then
Look at
Russell
this way.
Westbrook had 50%.
Look at this way. James Harden had 21 points, shot 2 for 11. One was a 3, one was inside in the paint. That's 5 points. That man shot 16 free throws.
He made 16, shot 20. Which that's where most of his points come from, and the general asset anyways. So like I can understand that. But I think his 3-point percentage is, you shot 6, like you said. He shot 6, like you said. He made 1. So you're sitting at a 16%. That's awful. Like, and you're number one. You're an all-star. You're in defining moments of a game, and the biggest thing is, like, we lost by, I think, 9. What was the final score?
10.
10. So you make 3 threes, you're down 1, get a foul. I mean, like, the game is within reach every time for the Rockets. I feel like, just like I said, if they make their shots, they can win. But they haven't been making shots. So yeah, I feel like Lakers probably pull it off.
Do you think it'll be a close game, or just another 10-point win for Lakers?
I'd say probably around another 10-point win, somewhere around there.
You might call me crazy, but I think the Rockets might get Game 5.
You think so? I want to say it, but I don't want to jinx it. So I'm just going to put it out in the universe and say the Lakers get it. And if
I'm just
we
going to
win,
say
we get surprised.
Rockets will win a close one, but Game 6, it's LeBron take over time, and they're won by 15 plus.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like LeBron's kind of in the same situation as well. with Kawhi and the whole Clippers organization is let's try to get a little bit of rest. So I feel like they're going to try to put the Rockets down as quick as they
Oh, yeah,
can.
LeBron's smart. Like I said, close game's going to be a fight for Game 5. I just think the free throws come to play, and that's when the Rockets have that edge.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of on the opposite spectrum of that. I kind of feel like the down low is
I'm
kind
always
of where
saying so I don't jinx myself.
you said what?
I'm always saying so I don't jinx myself.
I think just the down low is kind of where they win every matchup. I mean, I can't express it enough. Having a 7-1 guy or a 6'9" guy does not work out very well.
It never will. I mean, you
It
played
won't.
basketball. You've been pick up basketball, and you've had a guard. You're 6 foot.
I'm like 6'1". I had to guard a 6'5" dude like the other day, and it was not fun.
It don't work.
No, it wasn't fun.
Like you're getting beat up down there.
Like you're just sitting there jumping back and forth, like God, I can't grab the rebound.
So let's look at it this way. So you have so we're saying the Eastern Conference Finals will be the Heat and Celtics, Western Lakers and Clippers, Battle of LA, and man, do I wish that was played outside the bubble in the actual Staples Center.
That place would be insane. The amount of celebrities that would be there, the price of tickets would be ridiculous.
Oh, 100%, because no team's leaving. They're staying home. That's what. So like, let's think that if it was in the bubble, it was actually playing on the court. Would they just switch the logo in the middle every like other game?
So I think because they have different sponsors. I'm pretty sure too. So because I think Clippers are sponsored by, I think Bumble's one of their sponsors or something like that, and then I think
Lakers are about Wish.
Yeah, and then on their jerseys, and then I know, well, they have the same arena, so it's the same sponsor for the arena.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess it would just be switching out the home logo.
The colors.
Yeah. Well, and then I guess, you have the little logos.
I'd hate
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then you have, I guess, the little logos at, like the elbow or whatever, kind of by the elbow, if they have them. I know most college courts mostly have them, but I don't know if they have them at the NBA.
But you be switching the logos, the music you're playing.
Yeah, I mean it sucks. Like I would kind of hate that. Like you're just switching it out and having to do that. But if we're being honest, though, you probably get a decent amount of money. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And you get to watch NBA basketball while no one else does live. So who really wins there?
It's got its perks. It's
got its perks, but God, you're right. That would have to suck. But
all right, the perks over.
I feel like the perks would definitely kind of outweigh that, though.
Oh, 100%. Let's switch over to NFL. NFL's back. Started with Thursday Night Football last night. Texas took on the Chiefs. Chiefs won that game 34-20. And let's just talk about how the teams played. Let's start with the Texans side. Deshaun Watson, it showed that he really, really missed Hopkins. But Will Fuller still got 112 yards receiving, 8 catches. David Johnson's first against the Texans, 11 carries, 77 yards, and 1 TD. And then you had Deshaun Watson, 20 for 32, 253 yards, 1 TD, 1 pick. Is it really showing that this Tex team's on the downhill?
I wouldn't really say the downhill. I mean, I think the fact that, like I said earlier, and like you just said, missing DeAndre Hopkins is obviously the biggest thing for them right now. I think they'll kind of get into their groove later on down the road. It's just tough. Like week 1, you don't have your star receiver that you used to have in.
No preseason. The other receivers ready.
Yeah, no preseason. I mean, Will Fuller's really him and Kenny Stills were really the only ones that in the receiver core that were really on that team last year, right? Was Jordan Akins on there last year, or did he get? I think he might have got drafted just recently.
No, he was.
No, he got drafted by Houston. So I mean, there's only a couple players who are in that receiver core who have really been on that team. I mean, Randall Cobb, you see, he only had 23 yards and 2 receptions. And then Brandon Cooks, 20 yards and 2 receptions. Do you think they're trying to, I mean, obviously going after David Johnson, who had a breakout year 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, in 2016.
Um, I mean, obviously, and then having Duke Johnson come over from the Browns, who had a pretty good year last year. Do you think they're trying to run more of a, I wouldn't say read option because I didn't really see him run read option much last year, but trying to run the ball more, or
I wouldn't say that because they got a terrible O-line. Like, they have a bad O-line.
and it wasn't really good in the passing game last night either.
Exactly. So, like, I don't think they're trying to go the run game. They're just trying to try new things out, spread the ball out a little bit more, you can say. You know, bring in two backs. Then you have, I mean, Will Fuller is not a bad receiver at all. I'm not going to lie. He's a good receiver in the NFL. He'll get you 100 yards if you need it. It's just the fact that, like, you can't go off
Kind of
one
need
guy.
someone else.
Kenny Stills had 2 targets and dropped both of them. And then you're picking up Randall Cobb and Brandon Cooks. It's just the fact that Brandon Cooks hasn't been that good in a while. Randall Cobb hasn't been good since he left Green Bay. And other than that, it's just the fact that Sean Watson's just like, all right, guys, our defense isn't that good either. Since we lost Clowney, I'm just going to have a good time out here. I mean, he got paid, so
Yeah, I think, I think, uh, I think him and Randall Cobb can have a good connection later on.
they just needed that preseason to get him going.
I think that's the biggest thing, the preseason, and I mean, there was so much of we don't know. We don't know if there's going to be an NFL season. We don't know if there's going to be a week 1. I feel like that's also a big thing of, you know, I'm pretty sure they were always in practice, you know, going over routes or going over stuff, having team meetings and stuff. But there was always that uncertainty of, is there going to be a season or not? And I feel like up until last night, they were every player, and I feel like every player still kind of has that thing of like, oh wow, like, okay, we are actually playing football.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, and so I don't know. I feel like, you know, I don't think the Texans fans should worry too much. I don't think Deshaun Watson should worry too much. However, the receiver corps definitely needs to step it up a little bit.
And I feel like it's going to take time. It's going to take time for them to get used to not having Hopkins. It really, truly is, and they're not used to it. But give it time, let it pay out. But like I said, it doesn't help that your O-line lets your quarterback get sacked 4 times in week 1.
Yeah,
it doesn't help.
Yeah. So going onto the winning side, yeah, the Chiefs come out, reigning Super Bowl champs come out looking as dominant as last year.
Let's start with their rookie running back, who everyone had high hopes for, and he has proven them that there's reason to have him. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 25 carries, 138 yards, and 1 TD. Wow. As a rookie, coming off the bat. Mahomes, we all knew. He got you 3 TDs, 211 yards passing, 24 for 32, sacked 1 time. But another one to look out for who did the same thing last year, Sammy Watkins. 1 year ago in week 1, he went off. But then he went downhill. What's he doing week 1? 7 catches, 82 yards, 1 TD. Goes off. But that offense is so spread out with Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill. They both got TD too. Both got 50 yards and 46 yards catching. I was hoping that, you know, Edwards get more in the passing game. He will eventually. He was only targeted twice. Didn't catch any of them. But just the fact that this Chiefs offense come up to par.
Yeah. So to touch on your first thing of Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the prodigy out of LSU who came out and proved everyone why he deserved to be that pick for the Chiefs and be their starter. Really, I wouldn't say it blew my mind because I kind of like we all knew he was capable of, but to see him do that for his first game, for the first game of the NFL as well, was really exciting. And I think he's going to be a great fit for that offense. I mean,
he fits just right in.
and that's what I'm saying. Like last night they were talking about Patrick Mahomes and the night that Andy Reid and everyone from the front office was going to draft who they wanted. And they called up Patrick Mahomes and said, "Who do you want?" And Patrick Mahomes was like, "I want that LSU boy, Clyde Edwards-Helaire." And that's who they wanted as well. But just the fact that everyone had that trust in him. I mean, even Travis Kelce came in and after his post-game interview and was like, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, we all had that trust in him that he could come in and be an impact right off the bat for this team. And he was with 138 yards and a touchdown. Really proved. I think after this game, I think this team might be probably my favorite coming out of the NFC right now.
You back to back, you saying?
I wouldn't say back to back, but I'm gonna say they're probably my favorite coming out of the NFC.
You mean AFC?
Or AFC, I mean, yeah. I'm gonna say, yeah, coming out probably right now after that game.
So going off that Thursday night game, let's talk about our Week 1 games that are going on Sunday and Monday. So let's say the first game's on Sunday at 1 o'clock, Seattle and Atlanta. You like?
I like the Seattle team. I like them a lot more. I think their offense is just ridiculous.
Their offense is good, led by Russell Wilson, Chris Carson, DK, and Tyler Lockett. And then the key piece on defense they added was Jamal Adams. And it's going to help. It's going to help when they play this passing team, Atlanta. I like Seattle too. I think Gurley won't do much this year at all because he's going to a passing team, and he don't catch the ball in the backfield that much.
Yeah. I definitely see – I can definitely see him making an impact. But I don't think he's going to have – even last year he didn't have breakout games like that. I just don't think he's destined for – and if he is, I think it's maybe one or two, not, 3 or 4 110-plus rushing yard games or 150-plus rushing yard games. I think it's maybe 1 or 2 this season for him.
Second game of the day, my bad. Jets and Bills. I'm going with my boy Josh Allen leading the way for the Bills, and I think it's going to be a big one for them, especially knowing he has another receiver, Stephon Diggs, and especially knowing that Jets defense doesn't have C.J. Mosley nor Jamal Adams.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think them not having Jamal Adams or C.J. Mosley is the biggest thing, and then you just add on, adding more weapons onto this Bills offense is kind of scary. I'm excited to see what this Bills team's going to do. I think we both might have the same prediction for them this year. So,
and if you look at it this way too, the Jets lost their number one receiver, Robbie Anderson.
Yeah.
There's no one to Sam Darnold throw the ball to, I feel like, in my opinion.
No, but you kind of know how Le'Veon was in Pittsburgh. I want the ball. I want 28 carries a game. It's kind of how he is in New York, I feel like. And they gave him a ridiculous contract, didn't they?
Yeah.
So, I feel like that's kind of the direction they're going in is, hey, we brought you here. You said you wanted 28 carries a game. You said you could produce 150 yards a game. Let's see it. Carry us to victory. I don't think their offensive line is really that good for that, but hey, we'll see, I guess.
Another game, Bears and Lions. Who you like? To me, it's a toss-up. It's really a toss-up.
It is. Two kind of bad teams just going at it.
To me, it's a good defense going against a good offense. But a bad offense going against a bad defense.
Yeah. That's kind of what I mean by two bad teams because it's just you have the
they're both one-sided teams.
Yeah, and the best two sides of their teams are going up against each other at the same time when they're on the field. So I don't know. We talked about it before. Trubisky was named the starter.
And I think that's why I'm going to go with the Lions.
Yeah, same. I think
you can't
last year we both probably said it. Without Trubisky, or if Trubisky performed better, that team is deadly. They are a really good team if they had a better quarterback situation.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I think Lions get their 1 out of maybe 2 or 3 wins they'll have this year.
Next game of the NFC North, the team we couldn't decide who's going to win it. The Vikings and Packers.
Oh, what's your prediction for this one?
I'm going to go with the Vikings.
I'm going to go with the Packers just because, I mean, I had them winning their division anyway, so I'm going to stand strong with it.
That's why I'm going with the Vikings. I had them win the division.
and we and I mean, hey, we always need a little competitive games. We both had, I think, the past 2 games we both decided on together. So our past 3 games. So yeah.
Next game, Dolphins going against New England. See what that Cam Newton can do for the Bill Belichick offense. I like the Patriots.
I'm actually excited about this game, and you might call me crazy, but they were talking about it on First Take today, and this Dolphins team beat Tom Brady last year, later in the year, in the season. I don't know if they can beat Cam Newton just because it's going to be a completely different system and everything, and it's Cam Newton. But I think it's still going to be a good game, but I definitely have to go with the Patriots.
I mean, the Dolphins did add Byron Jones to defensive back. I mean, they got Preston Williams coming back on offense. Same with Fitzpatrick coming in play.
And then
it's in Devontae Parker.
I mean,
it's
decent running backs.
Jordan Howard.
Decent. I mean, they brought in Matt Bradea too.
Yeah, they got him. It's gonna be a good game.
I mean, they have Tua. I think
Fitzpatrick's starting.
Yeah. So let me ask you about that. Do you think Tua gets a start this year, or do you think they're
by week 5 or 6?
Think so? I was thinking probably 5 or 6, maybe 4. I think they just want him to learn under Fitzpatrick a little bit.
Yes. The only thing I'm questioning this game is the fact that the Patriots lost 7 starters, not defense. Well, not starters, but 7 role players.
Yeah, I mean, but just look at that offensive ball, and just, I mean, the press box, you have probably the 3 smartest people ever to touch a football field or a clipboard or whatever it has to do with football. And then you have Cam Newton, who is like a defensive end build and can throw the ball 60 yards downfield and run like a freak.
It all depends. Can he get the ball to his receivers? Who's he throwing the ball to?
Julian Edelman.
Can't throw him to 40 times a game.
20 you can.
We'll go to the next game. The Eagles are taking on the football team.
You know who I'm sticking with. I'm sticking with my football team. We're coming out week 1 strong, okay? And we're going to just soar from there all the way to the top, baby. All the way to Super Bowl.
You're joking, right?
Oh, no, I'm serious. We're taking off this year. We got the best defensive line in the game. We got a future MVP at our quarterback.
Jesus Christ.
And we got a future MVP at our wide receiver, too, in Terry McLaurin.
All
but
right.
we did just let go of HP, which sucks.
All right. I'm going with the Eagles. I'm being for real now. With Carson Wentz adding a couple receivers to his offense, having Miles Sanders back there with him, having one of the best O-lines are saying, and that defense being pretty solid like it usually is. I just think the Eagles team can overpower the football team only because Dwayne Haskins needed a preseason.
Yeah, that's what – I feel like this whole Washington team kind of needs a preseason.
Yeah. And you're going with them.
Huh?
You're going with them.
I can't turn my back on them.
Gotcha.
No, the only time I can turn my back on them is if it's like the Patriots with Tom Brady, or this year if they're going up against Buccaneers or the Saints. Like, if you're going up against an amazing team, I'm obviously going against them. But the Eagles, honestly, I feel like we could win this game. I really do. I don't think the Eagles are that good.
Okay. You have your opinion. That's all matters. Next game, Raiders taking on new face of the Panthers, Teddy Bridgewater and Chris McCaffrey. Who do you like?
I like the Raiders.
I kind of do too.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Panthers will be good maybe after week 5, week 4, week 5. Just give Teddy Bridgewater a little bit of time. This is the thing. They need a preseason as well. Like, Teddy Bridgewater has to, understand the system a little bit more, I feel like, and just have reps, with his players.
Yeah, and I just feel like this Raiders team added a lot of receivers for Derek Carr to throw the ball to. Josh Chase coming off a great rookie year. They just got to build that defense now, I feel like.
I hope he has a good year this year, Derek Carr.
He needs it bad.
Because they have such a good team, and they could be so good. But
New city, new stadium.
Have you seen that stadium, right?
Yes.
It's insane. It's insane.
Next game.
Oh, let me ask you, do you think for this Panthers team, do you think there's a future there in Matt Rule? Like with Christian McCaffrey and bringing in Teddy Bridgewater, which I obviously think is a great pickup. Do you think he could build off that?
I've never seen college coaches succeed in NFL.
Not really. I mean, the only one I can really think of, he hasn't really succeeded yet, so I can't say that.
Yeah, you can't say Cliff Kingsbury.
Can't say that. But, hey, that house says differently.
I mean, I think it can happen. It's the fact that, you took a terrible Baylor team to a great season. It took you 3 years. It's just the fact that it's the big boys now. This is the big dogs. You're in the NFL, and you're playing the best of best, and you're in the best of best division, I feel like, right now, the Saints, Falcons, and Buccaneers.
Definitely the worst time for him to come in.
100%.
And I'm 100% with you. Like you said, not only with him being in that division, but you're playing the best of the best. You had 3 seasons with the team, and you had 1 great year with them. Don't get me wrong, had a great year, like I said, but 3 seasons with them. And then, not only are you going up against the best players to play, but you have the best coaches, the best trainers, the best offensive coordinators, the best GMs, you name it. That's everyone.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could probably argue and say there's a couple coaches that are down in the NCAA that are probably better than a couple coaches in the NFL. I could probably argue that. Nick Saban probably, yeah. But
Nick Saban tried in the NFL and failed.
It's such a different game.
Yeah.
It's way different. And me personally, I don't know if he can succeed down there. Because with your 3 seasons, like I said, like we both said, you had 1 good season. I think out of 3 seasons, you would have to have 3 great seasons.
Yeah.
And then you could maybe say, and then you could say, okay, maybe I'll take a shot at the NFL.
But we'll see how it works. We'll see how it pans out and works, and we'll know.
Hey, we wish for the best for him because I want to see Teddy Bridgewater at least somewhat succeed because he was a hell of a player when he was actually healthy and playing.
Yes, couldn't agree more. Next game, Colts and Jacksonville Jaguars. That Jaguars team is a mess. I'm liking the Colts in this one big time.
Yeah, same. I think on both sides of the ball, they're just a better team. I think they're
better quarterback, great rookie running back, Marlon Mack, great veteran running back, T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman Jr. receiving core. Going against the Jackson team, who they got?
3 really good quarterbacks as well in that locker room.
Yeah, who does Jacksonville got?
I don't know.
DJ Chark.
The only thing I'm kind of worried about is the receiver core. Like, it's not terrible, but the best is T.Y. Hilton, and he's 30. Like, he's getting up there in age.
Yeah.
And like we talked about earlier, even when we were doing our fantasy draft, Jonathan Taylor is a great running back, but he's not great at catching the ball coming out of the backfield because he's never really been in that situation. He's
Hand the ball
always been
go.
that. Yeah, he's always been that. Hand me the ball. I'm going to gain you 20 yards.
But
I'm a
he's in a
football
good
short.
position being behind one of the best line in the league.
Yeah, which I think is going to be a key factor for this Colts team. I mean, their offense is, I feel like, right around the deadly mark right now. I mean, besides the question about the receiver core, I mean, everything else really fits it. Like you said, offensive line, quarterback room, and then the running backs. And then defense side of the ball, they're good too. So
They really are. They're
they might be a team to watch out for, honestly.
moving on to the Browns and Ravens. Let's just talk quick. I'm going the Ravens big.
Yeah, same.
I'm not a Baker Mayfield fan. They have a new office coordinator, but it won't help going against this Ravens team who's just overpowered on offense.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I'm with you.
I think that's that game.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Quick and easy. Chargers and Bengals, we're going to see Joe Burrow in his rookie debut against Chargers, who's starting Tyrod Taylor.
I'm actually did not hear about that. I forgot. I did hear about it. I completely forgot that they were starting Tyrod, though. I'm excited for this game, though, because not only do you get to see what Joe Burrow is going to do.
I think Burrow and James is back, too, for the Chargers.
Let me see if it pops up. Mike Pouncey's out for week 1. That just popped up. I don't see anything right now for it.
Yeah, he's back.
He is.
Yep.
I do see right here, though, they are saying that Justin Herbert's really breathing down Tyrod's neck for like that competition, which I'm excited for. And here's why I was like shaking my hands for this game, because
I want to see Herbert versus Burrow.
That's really what I wanted to see. Like, that would have been my all-time favorite matchup for this week. That would have been, don't care if it's a terrible game, that would have been my game to watch this week.
So who you like?
I think I'm going to go with this. I think I'm going to go with the Chargers. I think their defense is just a little bit better than what the Bengals are able to offer on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, because Atkins is out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers too, but I want to see what Joe Burrow is about in the NFL.
I'm excited to see this offense.
I'm looking to see how him and Justin Ross plays out. I want to see how him and Terrence Ross play out. I want to see how him and AJ Green's fully healthy.
And T. Higgins. I'm really excited to see how him and T. Higgins work out. Yeah. They need to focus defensively now. I think, their offensive line still really isn't even that good.
Yeah, but to me, you got to have a defense stop the offense from scoring.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, they made a couple picks in the draft for offensive linemen. So I think they'll kind of see how this year goes with offensive line. I think their main focus and what their main focus should be is more of that defensive side of the ball.
Yes.
Like we both said, because this offense they seem like they could be a deadly group if they can all work together and stay healthy.
Joe Mixon plays like he did 2 years ago.
Yeah, and the thing with it is, I think just a little bit better offensive line, and that team is offensively they're good.
Yeah, I think the game of the week coming up, this game we're about to talk about, Buccaneers and Saints, game of the week.
I said the Bengals and Chargers would have been mine if Herbert would have played, but I don't really think you could put a game over this. Yeah.
Brady, Michael Thomas, Chris Godwin.
And then you have Gronk back in there for his first time in 2 years.
Yeah, pretty much it feels like. And then you have Leonard Fournette suiting up for the Buccaneers versus Alvin Kamara.
I still cannot believe that they were able to pull off getting Leonard Fournette. Still cannot believe it. It's like I still can't believe that the Patriots were able to still get Cam Newton.
You see what Leonard Fournette said, though?
What do you
He
say?
said I'm finally playing with a good quarterback for the first time in my career.
I did see something about he said he was excited to actually play with a good team or something like that.
He
Like,
said, I'm
yeah, it
excited to
was,
play with a quarterback, a good quarterback for the first time in my career.
yeah.
So he's talking about college and NFL.
Hey.
Shot. Who you like in that game?
Oh, I don't know. This is a tough one. Are they doing fans? Is it like half capacity or is it
Yeah,
going by
it's
state?
state regulations.
Um, I think Saints fans might be a little rowdy in there.
So
So I,
don't.
yeah, so I think I'm gonna go with the Saints.
I like the Saints too, only because that offense, yeah, it might be high powered and loaded, but it takes time to get used to.
Yeah, and
And Mike Evans is out.
yeah, it's just like you said, it's just gonna take a little adjusting time. I mean, it's Tom Brady. You're not really gonna be, you know, stressed about it, but
Week 1, no.
yeah, but I mean, week two will come out firing and be everyone's gonna be like, oh well, Tom Brady's back.
So next game, Cardinals and 49ers. We're finally seeing Hopkins with Kyler Murray, and we're going to see what the runner-up Super Bowl team's all about. And they're saying Nick Bosa can win the Defensive Player of the Year award this year.
I agree with that, and
Right.
I think this could be like if I had to rank games for the week, I think this would probably be like my second or third game. I think this is gonna be a really good game. Um, I don't know. I feel like this Cardinals offense with DeAndre Hopkins now, like just knowing Cliff Kingsbury's mind, like what he will be able to do with that playbook now is unreal. I feel like they would be able, I feel like they could pull this win off. Like, am I crazy for saying that?
I don't
Against
think so.
the,
But are you saying you're going to the Cardinals week 1?
I think I am.
I'm going 49ers, buddy.
I mean, obviously, this 49ers team's
That
amazing.
defense, it's that defense for me.
It is. I cannot get over that DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray connection. If it connects, like if it really works, it's going to be scary. And I think that it would, if it can work week one, I think they win this game.
Yeah, we'll see. So Sunday Night Football, Cowboys and Rams. I'm going with the Cowboys.
Yeah, yeah, I don't really think
Next
I can
time to
argue
get
it.
paid.
We'll see if he doesn't hand the ball off 30 times this game.
The Rams did just pay Jalen Ramsey, making him the highest paid DB in NFL history. But then again, you got no one on the offense running the ball for you. You got a beat up O-line. You got Jared Goff is inconsistent. You got Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, but Tyler Higbee. Really?
Hey, Cooper Kupp is a dog. His thing is though, like his past 2 seasons, he hasn't been able to stay healthy at all.
Exactly.
But that team really could have been something, and we caught it. Like it would have been time before they had to pay everyone. Eventually, and I think now it's more just their downfall.
I mean, they got Aaron Donald. Nope. Beast, monster, best teams player, probably one of the best in NFL history.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously you have the great defensive side of the ball with Jalen Ramsey there too, but offensively, what are you going to do? Jared Goff hasn't played great in 2 years.
Yep.
You have you let your star running back walk because you didn't want to pay you couldn't pay him, and
I would let him walk too after last season.
I mean, yeah, probably, but still couldn't pay him, and I don't know. It's a tough situation out there in LA. You got two very good basketball teams out there, but man, football right now.
Too tough.
Yeah, very tough situations out there for them.
I'm going with
Football-wise.
Dallas. You going with Dallas?
Yeah.
Monday Night Football. First game kicks off at 7:15. You got the Steelers taking on the Giants. I'm calling it right now. Big Ben's going off this year. I like the Steelers.
I completely agree with that statement. I think Steelers are going to be. I think Steelers are going to go off this year in
Yep.
general.
All depends if James Conner can stay healthy.
Which I think he. I think he can. And if he can, this team is deadly. And just now looking at this, there's a 10-10 kickoff. I'm with the Steelers too on that game, by the way. There's a 10-10 kickoff next Monday. What?
Yeah, Titans and Broncos, but that's Eastern time. But you look at 2 hours back, it's 8:10 there.
Yeah, but damn, I'm not gonna go to bed till like 1 if I stay up and watch that.
I mean, it's going to be a good game in the Titans and Broncos because you're going to see they're saying it's Drew Lock's year. You got Philip Lindsay and Melvin Gordon behind them. You got Cortland Sutton right there, Jerry Jeudy there as well. But then you got a Titans team with Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, A.J. Brown, and they just signed Jadeveon Clowney on that defense.
Yeah, I think this is a really good
And Von
game.
Miller's out for the season.
He opted out, didn't he?
No, he got hurt. Tore his ACL.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
I'm going Titans, obviously.
I'm definitely with that first statement that you made, though, of people saying that this could be Drew Lock's year. I could kind of see it. I mean, last year he didn't have a terrible year as a rookie, right?
For Joe Flacco.
But when he, huh?
It was Joe Flacco's backup.
Yeah, but I think he came in and started last couple games of the year, didn't he? I'm pretty sure.
For Joe Flacco. But he came in.
I mean, at least when he was in, he didn't do bad. And I don't know. I think just adding weapons to that offense is kind of what he needed out there. And I don't know. I'm excited to see what Drew Lock will be able to do. 'Cause, like I said, he's not a bad quarterback. I really think he could kind of do something out there for that team.
Exactly. Especially with having a Jerry Jeudy receiver coming in and Cortland Sutton probably about to shine. And you got Noah Fant tight end.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Titans for that game. I just think they're a little bit better of a team. And like you said, defensively, signage of Jadeveon Clowney is.
So let's go on and talk about our AFC conference playoff prediction. AFC North, I think we're on the same page here. I'm going to go with both, like the Ravens.
Yeah, I was kind of – I mean, we both kind of said that we feel like this is going to be the Steelers' year. I kind of feel like they could maybe compete for that as well. But I just don't see where any logical person would really go against Lamar Jackson after the kind of year he had last year.
Exactly. But like I said, there's 3 wild card spots, so I think they're still going to get in.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go in the AFC East. I'm going to go with we both think the Bills.
Yeah. After the season they had last year and then just adding another weapon on the offense side of the ball.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's finally out of the division. We said a couple episodes earlier when we talked about Tom Brady leading, we kind of feel like this is the time for the Bills to shine, like the Bills dynasty to kind of shine right now.
Yeah.
Really no other team in that division I feel like can really compete with them. Like, I mean, obviously the Patriots, having Cam Newton can compete with them, but I just feel like they have that a little bit more advantage.
Going to AFC West, I think we both know this one, the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, who would you even put close second to that? Probably Raiders. I was thinking maybe Raiders probably be second. Or
that even sketches me out.
It's true. Maybe Chargers. Hey, maybe Chargers might surprise us this year.
Good. AFC South, this is the big question mark. You got Titans, you got the Colts, you got the Jaguars, you got the Texans.
Call me crazy. I'm going with the Colts. I really think –
because I'm going the same exact way.
I really think the Colts can win this year. I think they could have won last year. I think we both had high hopes for them last year, like 11-4, right?
Because Andrew Luck and that mother retired.
Yeah, and once he left, we dropped him drastically.
Switch up quick.
Yeah, but I think, I mean, is it kind of bold to say that like we feel like they can go in the direction of the 11-4 that we thought they would have? Like,
well, there's 17 games this year.
Oh yeah, that's right. So it would be.
You think
So
11
you
and
would have,
6?
yeah.
I think they can go 11 and 6, 10 and 7.
I was thinking, yeah. Um, I don't know. I think they could still maybe even squeeze out an extra win, like maybe get 12. I mean, just knowing how good overall this team is, like, I don't know. I'm excited to see the South in general because I really don't think there's a guaranteed in that
There's not.
conference or in that division. I
I think
mean,
it's a toss between the Titans and Colts, but I'm gonna go with the Colts, obviously. Uh,
yeah,
but there's 3 wild card spots, and I'm going to go with the exact same: Titans, Steelers, and Patriots.
yeah. Mine would probably be Patriots, Steelers, Titans, or if not Titans, I would say probably be someone out of the West. Like I think maybe Chargers could get a wild card spot if they have a really good year this year, like we're expecting them to. But
I think the
I'm
Titans.
expecting them to at least.
I think the Titans can make the wild card easily. My question mark is the Patriots.
I see. I'm kind of reversed with that. I kind of feel like the Patriots can make it easily. Like I kind of feel like they're solidified for that wild card spot. But I feel like the Titans. I kind of feel like the Titans. Not. It wasn't a once in a lifetime thing for them, but I feel like teams are kind of going to catch on a little bit more to that run game of theirs. It's going to be tough too, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, I feel like the Patriots are guaranteed a wild card spot at least.
We'll find out. But like I said, there's always a reason why we talk and may have our opinions.
Yes.
Let's make that switch to the reason why people are coming from the NFL. It's college football. That started back up last week, well, actually 2 weeks ago with that one game. But last night was an actual Power 5 team playing. The Miami Hurricanes played last night, and we finally saw Derek King make his debut for Miami. And that Miami team is a little sketchy to me.
Yeah, they struggled. Like coming out of the gate, they really struggled against this UAB team. Is supposedly supposed to be a good team. They were a pretty good team last year, but for them to struggle as much as they did the first quarter, I mean even the first half with this UAB team, kind of says a lot for this team. Like really shouldn't be struggling against a UAB team like that.
Exactly, especially with Derek King, the season he had 2 years ago, 5,000 yards passing, that whole shebang. And he didn't play bad. I mean, he was 144 yards, 1 TD, 16 for 24. But the real scenario here was a running back, Cameron Harris, who led the way with 134 yards and 2 TDs. I'm excited to see what Derek King can do for this Miami team because it's a big shift, big difference that they're going in. I'm just that's all I can really say. I just know that they won't do much because ACC, we all know who's going to win that. The Clemson Tigers will win that one easily. But let's talk about the games coming up.
Well, I mean, do you not think that Notre Dame will be able to give Clemson a decent run? Like, do you think Clemson's just going to completely run away with that conference?
It's Trevor Lawrence's last year. He's going with the bang. I'll say it right now. He won in the Heisman finally.
I could definitely see that. I mean, Justin Fields isn't playing, so who else can you give it to?
So
anyways,
some games going on. Also, look out forward to this weekend. You could say it's gonna be a good game, but you know why I'm gonna be watching it. Syracuse taking on UNC, number 18 ranked in the country. I'm watching Sam Howell.
yeah. I mean, he had a really good year last year. 3,641 yards last year. I'm really excited to see what they're going to be able to do this year because he actually has, he gets his leading receiver coming back too. So they're ranked going into the year, aren't they? Yeah, 18th. So I think this team is. I think they probably win this game pretty easily. I don't think Syracuse is a great team. It's so tough to be able to say, like, I think this North Carolina team is going to have a good year because we don't really know there's going to be a full year. But if there is, I mean, I think this team is kind of destined for a good year. But being in that ACC conference, I mean, we always say it, you're just kind of playing for second. And I feel like kind of with Notre Dame getting added in there, I kind of feel like you're just kind of playing for third now.
Literally, that's my opinion. It's gonna be a race for second place. I mean, between UNC and North Carolina, UNC and Notre Dame. My bad. But it's going to be a good one. But another good game to look out for that doesn't involve any ranked team is this Appalachian State team plays. And they were ranked top 25 last year. They were actually made up to top 20. And they're kicking off the year against UNC Charlotte. I want to see if this team can withhold that success they had last year. I want to see if they can do the same thing, run the ball over them. And I think it's going to be a good game for Appalachian State. I mean, they play a UNC Charlotte team who's really never had a great season. Just the fact that it's a team who's not usually ranked, who was ranked high last year, but now they're going to the season unranked. I'm just looking forward to see what they can do.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think, obviously a really good program. I mean, they've kind of had their ways of, just being a good program, just kind of being relevant, whether it's, being ranked or being unranked and beating a top 25 team, unexpectedly. So, yeah, I definitely think that they'll probably win this probably pretty easily. I mean, if they can put up fights against top 25 teams like they do, I think they probably win this single-handedly. I mean, you obviously know what game I really want to talk about, which is this West Virginia game. So I have a question for you. Do you think, obviously, Marshall beat the living hell out of Eastern Kentucky last week when they played them. Do you think this could be a repeat for Eastern Kentucky? Like they come back into because they played away, right? They played in Marshall. Yeah, so do you think they come back into West Virginia and just get manslaughtered again?
Yeah,
or
I do.
So my thing with this West Virginia team, man, I really think everyone's starting to buy into Neil Brown's system, and I'm really think that they could be a good team. But you still have Oklahoma. They have Texas now getting a lot of hype, which I don't understand.
Texas Tech, Iowa State.
Iowa State has a lot of hype around them right now, sitting at 23.
ECU still in the mix.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. I think they probably get a decent win, though. I don't know if it's going to be 63-0 like it was for that Marshall game or whatever it was.
It's going to definitely be like a lot of points to none. Let's go with that.
Yeah. I mean, does it look bad on West Virginia if they don't beat Eastern Kentucky by like 63? So like Marshall won 59-0. That's what I'm thinking. Like if they don't beat them by at least 59 like Marshall did, then it looks bad on West Virginia.
100% agree with that. I'm excited to see what these Stiller brothers do.
Yeah, I am too. And Tavis is probably gonna get some pretty good playing time as well. So yeah, I'm pretty excited, man. Football season's back.
I'm excited to see a full year with Dungy at quarterback.
Yeah, that's I think what I'm most excited for. And Sam James at the receiver. Defensive side of the ball, I feel like really like kind of like set. Like we've always kind of had that good defense. And then obviously, having the Stills brothers just kind of adds right on top of that, great defenders. But yeah, I'm right with you because we kind of saw a little glimpse of what he was able to do the last 3 games.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he was still able to get that red shirt with 3 games playing. So, yeah, he might come out firing, man. Like really be on fire.
So
let's hope.
About that game. Another game to watch is AC again. Duke takes on number 10 Notre Dame. You think Notre Dame beats the hell out of them?
I mean, I don't know. Duke
doesn't have anybody.
Yeah, I mean, but let's say this. I mean, their football program has pretty much always been bad. They're always known for basketball, but it's been a little bit better than previous years. Like they've been kind of on the come up a little bit.
But Daniel Jones left them.
True, but I don't know. It's just a tough first game for them
It is.
playing Notre Dame. I mean, Notre Dame has always been one of those teams that in previous years they can travel pretty much wherever they want and play whoever they want because they're in the independent. So they kind of play varied competition week in and week out. And I really don't think Duke meets any of their competitions that they've played previous years.
No.
And I don't think.
Because, yes, Notre Dame's independent, but they still play the best of the best, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. I
I
mean,
mean, hell, last year they played USC. They played Clemson. They played Georgia. They played Michigan.
well, and I mean, they've always they've always been a top program. Like they're always top 25. And I would say almost 7 times out of 10, usually top 15. So this it's a well-established and well-known program within college football. And I mean, they're not going to want to schedule scrubs like Duke and Marshall or I mean, hell, even come here and play us if we're, having a 3-5 season. It just doesn't make sense for them to do that if they're playing top end competition, being a top 25 team. So yeah, I'm with you. I think they probably run away with this game.
Last game we're going to talk about where College Game Day is at this week. Very slim option to choose from out of the top 25 teams who are playing. They're going to go to Wake Forest, and when Clemson, number 1 in the country, takes on Wake Forest. I'm just going to say this. I think Clemson's going to walk out of there after slaughtering up Wake Forest. I'll say that. I think you had no other choices, obviously, because, I mean, other ranked teams playing, you got Notre Dame and Duke,
Oklahoma,
Iowa State, Louisiana, then you got
Oklahoma,
UNC,
Missouri.
Yeah, Oklahoma, Missouri State, and Texas playing UTEP.
And here's what really sucks about this year. Like, we're obviously going to have, it doesn't suck because we're going to have football. Like, they found a way to make football happen and so every athlete is safe and everything like that. But I feel like we're going to miss out on so many great college game days.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like West Virginia and Florida State would have been a really good college game day down in Georgia, Atlanta. Hell, there were a lot of really memorable games for week 1 that got canceled. But yeah, I'm with you. I feel like Clemson's probably, knowing that college game days down there, for Clemson, I highly doubt that really means anything to them because they're always on ESPN.
They're used to it.
So to them, I feel like it's just another game, but I feel like this game and the Oklahoma and Missouri State game are going to have the same exact outcome. Both teams are just going to walk out of there.
I hope Oklahoma walks over Missouri State.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're just going to walk out of there and just, all right, like, can we actually play some competition now? Like,
I'm excited to see what Spencer Rattler does.
That's what my I think I can't remember the exact numbers they had for him to win, the odds they had for him to win the Heisman, which I don't think he can win it this year. But the past 3 hot quarterbacks that have come out of there, because he was under Jalen Hurts, right? That was the only quarterback he was under. So he definitely got some time to learn and shit under him.
Exactly.
But if he was under Kyler, man, that would have been scary.
Well, he went into graduated high school early.
I think he was in there the end of Kyler's, towards the end of Kyler's career, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure because he early enrolled.
Yeah.
So you can go in your second semester and that pretty much be your first semester of college or however they do it. But
exactly.
Yeah. We both obviously watched him on QB1. That's what it was. Both,
he brings that swagger.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing about him is just that swagger that he has, and he's so athletic, man. Like, it's crazy. It's so crazy. I'm gonna hate watching him go up against West Virginia, but I feel like just now, every time we go up against Oklahoma, you just have to watch and admire. Just be like, well, this is just what it is. Like, this is what we signed up for now in the Big 12. Go up against Lincoln Riley, and their greatest quarterbacks in the conference. So That's what we signed up for.
Anything else you want to touch on?
I think that's it, man. I hope football is long and great this year.
So next week we'll touch base on the week 1 recap of college football, NFL. We'll get into the games for NFL and college football best to watch. Give you the playoff update because by then both conference finals will be starting and going on, and we'll have fun with it. Just talking and enjoy our time, chatting it up about what we think, what's happening, things we're liking, and see what's going on in the world. So, quick question, Kev. You're in Morgantown. What's the regulation going on there right now? Because I heard it's like a big chaos.
Oh, dude, I don't even know. I tried looking at it last night, and it doesn't even make sense to me.
Like,
So it's like big parties and stuff like that are obviously off limits. But I think it's like the downtown area is all closed off. Like it's a red zone, so like you can't go down there. Like they're pretty much saying like if you're caught like having a gathering down there or whatever, you can get ticketed or fined or whatever the case may be. I don't really leave the house, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, it doesn't make sense because it's like one part here is like, I mean, you obviously know how Morgantown's laid out. So it's like the downtown area is blocked off. And then you have like the middle area between downtown and Evansdale campus where it's like, oh, you can, hang out there, have a little gathering there or whatever. But once you hit Evansdale campus, it's like another red zone. It makes no sense.
So, like, are you able to go to restaurants and stuff downtown, or?
I don't know. I haven't gone downtown to go to any restaurants.
And then how they doing? How they doing football? Like, how's that going to work out?
I have no idea. I don't think they're allowing fans for the first game. I'm pretty sure is what Tavis told me. But I think, yeah, I'm almost like 99.8% sure that they're not allowing fans for the first game. And then after the first game, like once they get into Big 12 play, I think they'll start allowing fans, which, I mean, we'll probably have to anyways because, like, that's really where West Virginia kind of gets its name from is, like, the home field advantage and having the crowd back them and everything like that. But, yeah, man, these regulations, I mean, I understand them. You're trying to keep every student safe and everyone safe and doing everything you can. I mean, everyone really doesn't know what's going on, but it doesn't make sense at all. Like, how can one part be a red zone and you can't have gatherings and then one part you can? When it's not like the virus is in one part of the city and it's not in the second part of the city. Like that,
Exactly.
that doesn't make sense.
And I'm thinking, let college kids be college kids.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing with it, obviously, I'm not a medical professional. Let me put that out there before I say anything. But, I mean, we've always seen the recovery rate of it. And, I mean, the people our age, around, college student age, don't really get affected by it that much. Obviously, you don't want it being spread to, younger children or older grandparents or parents, but you're in a college town, like you don't really have grandparents and parents here as much as you would in back home, where we were.
So did all classes go to online?
Yeah, so my classes aren't even through WVU, so I don't know, but I'm pretty sure all there are online. I think they were having, so they did it until 8/20 or 9/23 is when I think they'll resume classes back in person or something like that. But me personally, I just don't see where they'll go back in person.
Yeah. So, wow.
Yeah, like I said, man, it doesn't make sense. I feel like, I mean, obviously everyone's kind of doing what they feel like is best, but it's just confusing the hell out of everyone. And the decision should have been made before you had
100%.
thousands of kids
Paid all that shit to go there.
Pay all the money to come up here. I mean, even, Tavis and Noah went out to eat the other day, and he was telling me, like, there's so many people that came here from other schools, like Ohio State, just schools that weren't really having in-person classes. And WVU was having in-person classes, so they all transferred here. And now, like, people are just like, just send us home. Like, we paid all this money to come here, and now we can't even have in-person classes. Can't even do really what we want. just like you're pretty much in college just on lockdown. Is pretty much what it is up here. But hey, we live life.
Exactly. Live life and live on, man. So,
Yeah, live
Caleb,
life to tell another day.
say your peace, love, and goodbyes.
All right, guys. Well, it was always a pleasure. Um, I hope we will see you guys next week and watch some basketball and pray for my Rockets, man, because we'll need it because not very good.
All right, Matt Mackey, peacing out. Don't just watch basketball. Watch football. College
That's true.
football starting back up. NFL starting back up. Watch it all. You're having a great weekend. Like Caleb, he's stuck inside of Morgantown, can't go out. So you know what he's going to do? He's watching sports all week. I already know what he's doing. So what are you doing? Go watch sports. If you're staying inside, stuck inside, talk about your buddies, what's going on, and talk about Nationwide Sports Talk. You know, get us out there, get our name out there, share the links, share the videos, share it all, because the more fans we get, the better entertainment we can give you. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. Go ahead and say that. But other than that, watch your football, watch your basketball. Hell, even turn on tennis for the U.S. Open Finals coming up. Watch some hockey because it's now getting crunch time for the NHL Finals to start up soon. Both games in the conference are playing here soon. And watch MLB. Just watch sports. You're stuck inside. Sports are still going on. You got nothing better to do. Watch it. Give something to talk about.
Yeah, I'm with you, Mackie, on that first part. Tell your friends about the podcast, man. Try to get our name out there a little bit more. We love what we do. We obviously, we take our time doing the research, and we've been doing it for a while. And like I said, we love it. We really enjoy it, and we try to bring you guys the best information we can and the best quality we can, because, I mean, hey, it's all for the love.
Exactly.
So tell your friends, tell your family about it, and subscribe to us on YouTube as well.
Exactly. I'm 22. He's 20. We ain't the big honchos. We ain't in it for the money. We just in it for the fun of the game, fun of the sports. That's what we love. We just do it for fun. We love the sports. All we want to do is talk sports and just get the entertainment out there, get the knowledge out there for you all who are our age, younger, and just have a good time with it. I mean, yeah, we might say some BS stuff here and there, but hey, it's all fun and games.
We're like the college athletes of podcasts. We do it for the fun. We don't do it for the money. We're not in the pros.
I just want the name out, the Nationwide Sports Talk. It's got a good catch to it, got a good tone to it, and got two good-looking dudes doing it.
Hell yeah.
Can't agree with that. So, Caleb, stay safe in Morgantown. I'm
Yes,
Matt
sir.
Mackey, and I'm peacing out for the week. See you all next week. And like Caleb said, subscribe to YouTube, follow the podcast, like it, 5-star rating. Give us all the reviews you want. We'll listen, we'll check in, and we'll talk to you next week.
Peace.